All right, let's talk about Deadpool. I know, you think you know this guy. The chimichangas, the fourth wall breaks, the whole wisecracking mercenary in a red suit thing. But what if I told you that's not the real story? We're going to pull back that mask and go way deeper. Because the story of Deadpool isn't a comedy. It's a tragedy.
And right there, that's the whole game. This isn't just a clever line, it's a confession. The guy you see on screen, the character you're laughing with, that's a performance. It's a show he's putting on just for you. He's letting us peek behind the curtains, and what we're about to find is that all that comedy is powered by some very, very real pain. Okay, Section 1, Behind the Mask, the performance of being Deadpool. So, let's get this straight from the jump. The clown in the red suit, that's not Wade Wilson. It's an act. It's an identity he had to literally build from the ashes after his real one was completely destroyed.
I mean, think about it. It's easy to be the clown when your face is already a joke. This is the key to understanding him. The humor isn't just who he is, it's a survival tool. It's a coping mechanism. All those jokes, the nonstop talking, the absolute absurdity of it all, that's a shield. It's a wall he puts up because what he's actually feeling, physically and mentally, is just completely unbearable.
Part 2. The man named Wade. Who he was before the suit. So, to really get why the performance exists, you have to meet the man behind it. We need to rewind. Let's go back and look at who Wade Wilson actually was before his life turned into a punchline.
So what was his life like? Well, it wasn't perfect, but it was his, you know? He was a Merc, a bad guy who hurts worse guys for money. Simple justification. Then he finds Vanessa, and this is the game changer. She's the one person who actually sees him, and with her, he finds this genuine happiness, the kind that's so real it's actually terrifying, because now he has something to lose. And, right on cue, the diagnosis, the big C. It shows up to take everything, absolutely everything away. Those are the stakes. That's what was on the line. We were two ugly, messed up puzzle pieces that somehow fit together perfectly. And that right there is the heart of this entire story. It says it all. Vanessa wasn't just some girlfriend. She was his other half. She looked right past the cynical mercenary act and saw the real Wade. And the thought of losing a future with her, well, that's the wound that just never, ever heals.
Okay, Section 3, the price of a cure, the promise that became a nightmare. So, what do you do when you're facing death and you've got everything to lose? You make a desperate choice. Wade takes a deal from a very sketchy organization that promises him a cure, and then some.
And let's be absolutely clear about this. He didn't care about being a hero. Not for a second. This wasn't about saving the world. It was about something so much more basic, so much more human. He just didn't want to die. He wanted to go back to his life, back to Vanessa. It was about survival, plain and simple.
But this cure, it was a straight-up nightmare. First, they take him to this place. It's not a hospital, it's a factory for making monsters. Then came the torture. It was systematic, it was brutal. Burning him, drowning him, suffocating him, anything to stress his body so much that a mutation would trigger. And all the while, his tormentor, a guy named Ajax, is playing these twisted mind games, stripping away his name, his face, his humanity. Just breaking him down piece by piece, until finally, something snaps and the mutation kicks in.
Section 4, the full body scar, the consequences of survival. So yeah, he survived. He even got his cure. But the price he paid for that survival was just devastating on every single level.
So he gets this healing factor, right? It's a mutation that's constantly repairing his body. Sounds great, but here's the catch. It's also constantly battling the cancer cells inside him. It's an endless war happening in his body 24/7, and the result? His skin is a permanent, full-body scar. He lives in a state of constant cellular pain. It never, ever stops.
And this is where the cruelest joke of all gets told. Just look at this breakdown. The promise versus the reality. He was promised a cure for cancer, he got a full-body scar. He was promised superhuman strength, he got constant, healing pain. He was told he could be a hero, he became a monster. And the worst one? The absolute gut punch? He got more time. But he was made into someone who could never, ever go back to the one person he wanted that time with.
If I don't laugh, I'll scream, and if I start screaming, I'll never, ever stop. That's it.
That is the single most important thing you need to understand about him. The laughter isn't a choice. It is a desperate, absolute necessity. It is the dam holding back a literal ocean of screaming agony. The jokes are the only thing stopping him from completely breaking apart.
You know his most famous gimmick, right? The fact that he talks to us? Well, this changes everything. His brain is so broken, so constantly healing and rewriting itself from the trauma and the cancer, that he can literally see the edges of his own reality. The fourth wall breaks aren't just a funny trick, they're a symptom of his fractured mind. That's why he knows you're there. He knows you're watching.
Part 5, A Monster's Purpose, Finding a Reason to Keep Going. So his old life is gone, completely torched. He has to build something new out of all that wreckage. He needs a reason, any reason at all, to justify why he's still here, living through this nightmare.
I mean, seriously, what do you do? What do you do when you can't die, you can't go home, and you can't even stand to look at your own reflection in the mirror? You're trapped. Immortality isn't a gift for him, it's a prison cell. So where do you go from there?
Well, he tried a few things. His first attempt? Revenge. He hunts down Ajax, the man who did this to him. But killing him doesn't fix anything. It just leaves him feeling empty. So next, he tries heroism, being one of the good guys. But his methods are, well, they're way too bloody. It just doesn't work. So he finally lands on a new philosophy, a new conclusion. Fine, if everyone's gonna see a monster, he'll be the monster that hunts other monsters.
Section 6, The Cruelest Joke. His pain, our entertainment. And this is where it all comes together. This is the final, most tragic twist in the story, and it's the part that involves you. It involves all of us.
I live in a world I know is fake, but my suffering is authentic. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the core paradox of his whole life. He knows he's a comic book character, a movie hero. He knows his world isn't, real like ours. But that doesn't make the pain go away. The torture he went through, that felt real. The heartbreak of losing Vanessa, that felt real. His suffering, even inside a story, is 100% authentic.
So what does that mean for him? What's his purpose? Well, it's us, you, the audience. Your entertainment is literally born from his pain. His unending agony, his horrific backstory, all his violent, desperate jokes, it's all been perfectly packaged for you to enjoy. His tragedy is your blockbuster. My tragedy is your blockbuster, and you're going to watch every second of it, aren't you? And that's the final twist of the knife, isn't it? It's not really a question, it's a statement of fact. He knows we're going to keep watching, because, in the end, our watching gives his suffering a purpose, and that purpose is to be our entertainment. The show must go on because we demand it. We're the reason why.